Hello, everyone, and welcome to a character reveal. It's actually going further in the past of Jaylabzip's universe. You know, the one about the first story, and he's in the second story as well. Those characters. So these characters are all the way before the Overlord got his dimensional weapon. So that's a millennium, so 1,000 years before all of that whole story happened. These characters right now, they're dead. No, they're gone. But yeah, and they won't be. I don't think I can bring them back into this universe. Like, I don't think I can bring them back into this story right now. But I think I'll make another story that tells us more about how they became a team. And maybe introduce even more legends. Maybe after all of this is over, one of the surviving characters from Jaylabzip's universe, whether it's the Overlord or Jaylabzip, can read about the stories. Or we can just have it so, because the Overlord has already read about the stories of these characters, maybe he can, like, he and us can experience the story together. He'll be the narrator of the story, so I'm basically proposing here. That would be fun. But then again, I wouldn't be able to. There wouldn't be any thought scenes. Like, you wouldn't be able to see any of his thoughts. But wouldn't it be? Yeah, I think it would be better if I just did a whole different story where the Overlord isn't the narrator. But either way, you guys choose. Do you want me to do a story about these characters? Or with the Overlord being the narrator? Or no specific? Like, does the Overlord... Should the Overlord be the narrator, or should he not be? You choose. Anyway, we're getting farther and farther away from the topic at hand. So let's get back to that, shall we? Kerber, the legendary Javelin master. He's 20 at, his legendary, the time we're talking about this, the first time he's introduced his story, he's 20. That's what I'm basically saying. He is a warrior in Jaylabzip's universe with a magical javelin that can shoot a purple blast of energy that can destroy even the strongest monsters. Is very charismatic and has a heart of gold. Now, if you would remember, there was a magic javelin in one of the magical artifacts episodes, like videos. I think it was part 1. Yeah, I pretty much took some of the old weapons and gave them to other characters to make those characters. And I think I did a pretty good job. So this guy has a heart of gold. Look at his armor. He's got good armor. And yeah. Rating, and when you got rating synopsis, the zombie summoner. He's 22 years old at the start of the story. She's a she. She is a witch that can control and create any zombie of some brain she put in a jar. And as long as she has that on her, she can use her zombie abilities. is the person that finds and creates the artifacts that legendary warriors like Kerber and herself use to defend the town from dangerous threats. Alright, there's her. Then we got Twit, Chembur, the Deathbringer. He's 17 years old at the start of the story. He's a he. He's a clever warrior that has access to a scythe that gives him dozens of overpowered and godlike abilities. But because there are other heroes and villains and doesn't want to steal their jobs, he rarely fights when there are attacks against the town. So he's so powerful and he doesn't want to show off. That's why he's not going to appear as often as other characters, even though they're a part of a team. And if he ever fights, he always finds a more creative way to beat the threat. So not like punching them or attacking them. He likes using more creative abilities, like, let's say, creating dozens of swords and throwing them at the enemy. Or making a monster to fight for. Things like that. Unless the threat is extremely big one. So this is his backstory. He was going to the store to get some food for his family until he just found his scythe on the ground and he decided to take it to the only witch he knew. Rating Synopsis, the zombie summoner. But when he touched the artifact, it teleported him exactly where he wanted to go. Rating Synopsis, Witch's Hut. And rating Synopsis was surprised about that, but was even more surprised when the scythe didn't teleport her when she touched it. When she got a opportunity to touch it. And she doubts that Twit is lying about this because there is no other way to teleport into her hut unless what Twit said was true. So she told Twit to teleport her to the store and then teleport her back to her hut. And he was able to do it, confirming that the only person that can use the abilities of his scythe is Twit himself. So here's Twit. Alright. Now we got on our fourth one, halfway done. His name is Ruse Menacer, the legendary fisherman. He's 18 years old, he's a he, and he is an idiotic warrior. He's not the smartest one, but he admittedly is a very good fighter. Did I say very? And very skilled with using anything as a weapon, thanks to his training with his dad. But he wants to retire from fighting and become a fisherman because it was his dream to do that. And his favorite food is fish of any kind. So one day when he was going fishing with his dad, he caught a fish, but not any regular fish, a fish artifact, and he did doesn't realize the artifact's power until he and his dad came home. And as soon as they came home, the whole house was destroyed. And luckily, Rue survived because his fish artifact saved him. But sadly, his dad kicked the bucket. Didn't have that luxury. And he kicked the bucket. And that gave him the goal to continue his father's legacy of helping this town and eliminating all threats towards it. He can summon an infinite amount of fish and has all of the overpowered and godlike abilities that Twit, Chembur, the Deathbringer, has access to. And he can also talk to fish with the fish artifact as long as he has the artifact in his hand. There we go. Fifth one, Flex Krakow. He's 18 years old, and he is the most smartest warrior in the town because of his artifact that he wears most of the time. He has access to a glasses artifact that automatically increases the wearer's intelligence tremendously, and it also gives him the same overpowered godlike abilities Twit, Chembur, the Deathbringer, and Rue's Minister, the legendary Fisherman, has access to. He is the first one to theorize that maybe the 500 figures didn't burn in the lava lake because they could never find the lava lake again, and there were no reports of bones or remains of the 500 figures. So that's why he wanted to make it illegal for anyone to go near the lava lake. But sadly, he wasn't able to do that because his request was rejected. I do not know how to make. There was no glasses on the pick. I am so sorry for the interruption. Again, I had to deal with something. So, anyways, I was saying that there was no glasses for the pit crew on this character. So, it can't be helped. You're just gonna have to take his word that he has glasses that do that. Oh, this one's kind of cool. So, Ed Unkusasu, 18 years old at the start of the story. He is a warrior that has a gun that can change the roles of people if that makes sense. So if he shoots a zombie and turns him into a supporting character, which would make the zombie would make the zombie be on Ed's side. And other than that, the gun does nothing. So he can swap roles for other people. Like, let's say a witch summons 1,000 zombies. He can make the zombies the antagonists, all of them the antagonists to the witch instead of the supporting character to the witch, making the zombies go attack the witch instead of him. So he can not only swap the roles of people for him, but he can swap the roles for people for others, if that makes sense. Probably one of the more unique powers I've ever made. I took inspiration from another add-on review. All these took inspiration from all the other characters. No, not all the other characters, all the weapons from the Minecraft add-on legendary artifacts. And I'm probably gonna take inspiration from more. Alright, this is the 7th. Pizza Pumpty Pickle. What was I thinking by naming this girl? I don't know. So, she's 19 years old. At the start of the story, she is a warrior that turns crazy when they found their weapon. When they they almost finished their mining expedition, and when she got out of the cave, she saw the weapon, and it was very interesting. And the weapon wasn't there when she went into the cave, but as soon as she touched it, she turned into a psychopath with all the abilities, powers, and skills of the most strongest warriors in the town, including the legendary warriors like Twit, Runes, all of them. And then we got our last character, homely Parleyyala, the first artifact warrior. 99 years old. She's 99 years old at the start of the story, or at least when she first shows up. She is the first warrior that got an artifact. She is very sarcastic. She wants to retire from her job, being a warrior, but her family convinced her that she has to be there for the protection of not only her family, but her whole town. And ever since then, she was in the fight for decades. She was always in the fight. Her artifact is a bow and arrow that can shoot unlimited arrows that teleport her or others wherever she wants to. It is still one of, if not the best at martial arts. She is a bit slow and out of shape. She is the leader of the artifact warriors. Alright. So pretty much the legends, artifact warriors, whatever you want to call them. She is a bit out of shape, but that doesn't mean that she's not strong. No, far from it. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna be it. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. I will see you all actually pretty soon. I'm gonna be posting a short soon. So hopefully you'll enjoy that, and yeah, goodbye. See ya. Oh, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can never miss a video, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye, for real this time.